호주의 인종차별 문제 얼마나 심한가? 제 한국인 친구 중에 한 명이 호주에 산 적이 있는데 이 친구한테 호주의 인종차별 문제 얼마나 심한지에 대해서 물어봤습니다.
Long time no see.
Long time no see.
And today we're going to be talking about Australia. You've experienced living in Australia on a working holiday.
Yes.
And you're in Melbourne.
Yes.
Yeah. And I've met a lot of people that are thinking about moving to Australia, or they want to do a working holiday in Australia. But a common concern that I heard was that people are worried about racism in Australia. What would you say to someone in that position, thinking about coming to Australia, but a bit scared of racism?
Well, first of all, I think there are racism in every country.
Yeah.
Not just Australia. I guess in Australia, it's not as common as the States, but there are definitely cases of racism. So to people who are scared of going to Australia because of racism, I would say you shouldn't be worried about that. Although one thing I should mention is that people are more discriminatory against people who can't really speak English. I think people are more discriminatory about those people rather than based on their skin color.
I just wanted to know, you're a Korean who has experienced life in Australia. What was your experience like?
As far as my own experience is concerned, I haven't met anyone who was racist towards me, except there were these two Arab guys who were driving cars, and I was walking on the street. I think it was in CBD, and then I think one of them called out to me and was like, "Hey," and then I saw them, and then they were making the eye gesture,
really?
and then they drove away. Yeah, I think but they weren't Australians. You can tell that. They were there, I don't know, maybe on working holidays as well, but they weren't Australians.
Okay.
It was kind of funny. Yeah.
What were you feeling at the time when they did that to you?
Not much, because I'm not really that sensitive to those racism. I think it was probably the first time I actually encountered anything like that.
Did you have any other experiences with racism in Australia?
I was trying to enter McDonald's, but two teenagers, I think they were very young, probably 18 or 19 years old. They blocked me out of nowhere. They came out and then they just blocked me. And then I tried to go into McDonald's, but they wouldn't let me in. So I pushed them a little bit, and then they just started to beat me up.
Wow. So
I was put down to the ground and they started to kick me. Fortunately, though, there were people around, and then people were calling out "Hey, what are you guys doing?"
Wow.
And then they just ran away. I didn't even feel anything, and I just went to the bathroom because I was in a hurry. I was more concerned about wetting my pants than meetings. And I went into the bathroom and I saw myself in the glass, and I noticed I was bleeding in my nose, and then there were cuts in my nose. I have the scar to this day over here because I was wearing glass back then as well, because they beat me in the glasses as well. The next day I went to the cafe that I was working in, and the boss heard my story, and he told me it might not be a racist thing because his brother also experienced the same thing. He's a local Australian.
Yeah.
And his brother was also beaten by some random guys.
Dude, that's crazy though. You got beat up by two punk teenagers at McDonald's.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that was a racist case because they weren't calling out any names. Right. They were just beating me out of nowhere, without any reason.
Dude, and I'm sorry to hear that you got bashed by those punk kids at McDonald's. If I see them, I will avenge you. Don't worry.
No worries, man. That was 5 years ago.
Well, dude, it was so good to talk with you. Thanks again, man. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.